right when I retired, yeah, my wife's marching orders were, you will fix yourself this year. You spend this year trying to get all the treatments that you should have been getting, or before I got out. I went to HBOT, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and did that. Did like 65 treatments of that. That definitely helped some, but it's I didn't. It wasn't the answer for me. I went to a group. It's called Operational Restored Warrior. They bring guys up to the Colorado mountains, and it's a week-long spiritual retreat. It's very, very, it's awesome. It did huge for me. Pretty much broke down into everything is spiritual warfare. Everything that goes on in this country, with all this crap, it's all spiritual. So it was I really came out of there like enlightened. Definitely with a lot of this stuff that all this negative stuff that was happening, because of the trial, none of that matters. Like, I have a gorgeous, amazing, strong, sexy wife with 3 beautiful children. Like, I could not ask for anything more. Like, this is what I have, so why pay attention to what's all this negative stuff? So that was huge for me. And then I was still dealing with stuff. I was writing the book at the same time, which was very, very, very hard because I had just packed that 2 years into the same suitcase where I packed everything else, thinking that I just wouldn't have to think about it again. And when I started writing the book, I had to delve back into everything, and then I went down a pretty dark hole. And I think the breaking point for me was my daughter. And I wasn't going around yelling or whatever, but I was very depressed. My kids could see it. So my daughter just told me one day, she's like, I don't like being around you when you're like this. And so that was it for me. I had talked to a couple friends about the Ibogaine, and my wife had reached out to Dan's wife, and she was like, yep, we were both on board. And so I went out there and did that trip. That was huge. That set the foundation for me on how I should feel. I know how to get back to a state of peace now, or I know what that feels like. That's what that did for me. But then that, I think everybody thinks that's, because that's being talked about, that's the answer. That's not the end all be all either. It's constant work. And this is what I've told guys, and I talk to guys that are getting out now, because I think this is a major issue that's going to blow up here in the next year. But now we're coming on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Yeah. It never, once you touch war, it touches you back, and that it's never going to go away, but you need to constantly work at it to make yourself better. And the advice I give them is the same advice I give them when they were going to Buds. Just don't quit. That's it. I mean, you have to wake up every day and work on yourself so you can be a better person for yourself, but for your family, which is the most important. So, I mean, I pretty much, I'm saying this now I'm like, all right, but that's what I learned all through last year. And I think just a couple months ago, I'm at a place where I feel like I'm at peace. I feel like I'm ready to go, go forward and do good, or help other people out without having this, weighing on me.